Episode 3, Abandoned Campsite. Within minutes, Hank had a camp set up for them. Both Alara had her own lean-to on one side of the fire, and Hank had one set up the same way on the other side with a canopy tarp over the fire to protect it from rain, and it makes the heat from the Dakota fire swirl down all around you while sitting by the fire pit. Now Alara felt the warmth of the fire all around her and felt comfortable for the first time in a long time in a real camp, and she didn't have to build it. She gave a silent prayer of gratitude for Hank's help the crackling of the fire, sounding different in the thin air, the sound of Alara drinking. Slightly gasping for air, the soft murmur of their voices, the words carrying further in the clear mountain air. Each appreciative of the company each had to offer tonight. The temperature is dropping rapidly, Hank and Alara sit by the fire. The firelight flickers, casting long, dramatic shadows on the tarps. Hank shares some dried meat. Elk or deer? Hank asked Alara. Alara chose the elk. She's got taste. Hank thought to himself, elk is better than deer. Hank's face as he looks at the photo of his wife, a flicker of sadness and longing intensified by the vastness of the mountains around him. The crackling of the fire intensifies, a vital source of warmth in the freezing air. The sound of crickets chirping, a distant howl carried on the wind. It sounds different, more primal, and echoing in the mountain landscape. But it didn't sound like a wolf, thought Hank. Alara was thinking the same thing, but neither of them discuss it further as night falls. Hank and Alara share a meager meal. Hank's photo of his wife fell out of his pocket, and Alara gazing at it for a moment. Then Hank noticed it and picked up quickly and placed it gently back into his pocket. The vast and different beauty of the mountains seems to amplify his sense of loss. But as he chatted with Alara, she started to remind him of his wife when they first met. Then Hank forced himself to quit thinking like that, and it's only because he has been too long without a human friend, and she was in need of help. Don't think about it, because it's better to travel alone than to have the extra liability. Or could she be an asset, a valued member of the team? Stop thinking, Hank. He thought to himself, whatever happens, happens, and just roll with it, then deal with it when it happens. Over. They sit in silence for a moment, the shared grief creating a bond between them. Suddenly a distant howl echoes through the night air. The goats stir uneasily, their ears perked up and pointing in the direction of the howls. The goats and Scout are more alert than before. Scout starts to whimper, and this is a first for Hank to see his most valiant dog whimper. What was that howl? Hank thought to himself. It was unlike anything he's ever heard anywhere he's ever been, and Hank has traveled the world while in the military. From the jungles in South America to the high mountains of Afghanistan, deserts, temperate rain forests in the Pacific Northwest, and all across America, working as a pro hunter and guide, this howl ran the shivers down his back, and the hackles raised up on the back of Hank's neck. Hank knew he was not going to sleep well tonight, and when sleep comes, he'll have one eye open. She hopes Hank likes it. She sees Hank sitting on the old stump and brings him her herbal tea and hands it to Hank. She said softly to Hank, "It's my mother's herbal tea recipe. I hope you like it." Hank looked up and thanked Alara, then said, "I am sure I will like it." With that gesture of friendship, Alara went back to the fire to tend to her belongings and pack everything up to move. Alara thinking to herself, not sure what to do, go her own way or go with Hank. They're going in the same direction. And her encounter has her really spooked and still doesn't know how to explain how to tell Hank how she got her injury. And now if Hank thinks she's loopy or at the worst touched in the head and seeing things. She's hoping Hank will ask her to team up, and she knows she'll say yes if he asks. Alara wants to ask, but doesn't want to seem needy and not sure what Hank is thinking about it all. Hank's a man of few words, but he's a straight shooter. Hank is sitting on the stump asking himself the same question as Alara. Hank come over to the fire and offers Alara some pemmican and dried fish for breakfast. Alara said she had a treat for both of them and pulled out a sack full of dried service berries and some fresh raspberries she picked for the herbal tea. Hank's eyes widened with excitement, and a grin came across his handsome but weathered face. Hank told Alara how much he liked the herbal tea, and hats off to your mother. Seeing Hank light up like that made Alara kind of giggled inside, and a smile came across her face as well. They packed up camp and headed for the pass together. Neither asked, and neither said anything. They just both on their own decided to team up without asking or saying a word to each other about it. Both were thinking, at least just for a while. Hank thought, just until she mends better, then maybe we can go our own ways. Alara was thinking the same thing. Just until I heal up some more, and be able to fend myself. Then we can go our own ways just like all the other times. Hank and Alara make their way down the other side of the pass on a beautiful midsummer's day in the Rockies. Wildflowers everywhere, green grasses, and the world felt happy today. Hank and Alara come to the river and travel with the goats along a riverbank looking for the NFS bridge. They find the bridge, and it has been washed out years ago just as Hank had anticipated. No harm in trying. The river is swollen and dangerous from recent snowmelt. The towering peaks of the Rockies loom over them. It was a long day, but it was a longer night the night before. Hank and Alara agreed they should make camp and prepare for a river crossing in a swollen, fast-moving water. It was going to take some planning and precision work. All of their bushcraft skills will be tested on this crossing. They find a possible crossing point, but it's treacherous. All river crossings are treacherous and can be very deadly if you don't take them seriously. Hank assesses the risks, studying the current and the bank stability. Hank deems it's possible but going to take a little improvised engineering and make a swing rope from 2 long ropes and a raft large enough to ferry over 4 goats at a time. This means Hank and Alara will be on separate sides of the river to make this maneuver happen.